Hello, welcome back to the Chess Diagnostic channel. This is Andrew, and this series will be analyzing live tactics, which are actually more more interesting than endgames. Um, and actually, the thought process behind it is much more beneficial to your game than learning theoretical positions. But still, it's good to learn chess information. A lacking element of a lot of chess instruction that I've seen is it doesn't teach you how to think about positions. And that's what I'm trying to rectify with my channel and also clarify my own thought processes. Um, Now, my understanding is actually quite simple, and I've developed my own thought processes over the years that correspond to all types of positions, especially tactical positions. Now, when I see other experts and masters analyzing tactics, they don't really explain the underlying thought process of how they're doing it. They just kind of go through, oh, this is the solution, that's the solution. So I'm going to try to describe exactly the process, even though it might sound tedious, but hopefully you'll learn something and we'll see how it goes here. All right, so in this position, what I normally start doing is, well, if it's a puzzle, I get acclimated to which side I am first. But other than that, I'll basically, instead of just randomly start analyzing moves, I'll break it down and go from the piece of the highest value, which I consider the king, all the way down to the pawns. And so that'll go through the king, the queen, the rook, and then the pawns here. And so what I'm looking for is forcing moves, checks, captures, and threats. So the king, there's nothing for that, so I can automatically discount that move. The queen, I see a few positions here, or a few moves, and so at this stage, you don't want to lock yourself from any move. You want to look at all moves, even moves that look totally ridiculous. Like for example here, I can see that this move, queen to d3, actually looks quite good, because if the rook takes it, then it's checkmate. With the rook here, I can checkmate. So that's a specific example of that. But let's look at other moves. Um, One move would be here, threatening mate, but it looks like white can just prevent that by playing h3 or some other move. Um, White is threatening to take this pawn, but it looks like black has some kind of mating attack. So let's see here. The queen. Other than queen to d3, I'm not seeing something right now with the queen. Another option is to bring the rook here as well. Um, or bring the rook here, which actually looks like quite a good idea. Another option is to bring the rook to f8 and threaten this pawn. Actually, that looks quite promising because then there's really no way to defend against that. Alright, so we have the candidate move queen to d3, we have rook to d8, and we have rook to f8. So let's see here. So this is an example of where strategic understanding, which is actually a lot more complex than tactics, but where strategic understanding comes into play. And so my understanding is that you should always activate your least active pieces. And so, for example, the rook here is very active, the queen here is very active, but this rook is just sitting here guarding a pawn. So how can I bring this piece over and bring it into the attack? So queen to d3 I'm discounting because it looks like white can even just not do anything, and there's really no threat. He could bring his rook over to the d file again and double up, although actually that doesn't work, because I would just, actually no, yeah, I could just take it, or no, he could just take me. So alright, so the queen move is discounted. Rook to d8, let's see. There's really nothing there. The only thing I see is rook to f8. So let's see. I'm going to play that move against the computer here. Alright, looks like that is the correct move. Black is centralizing his queen, but he didn't protect f2, so I would just simply take it. Alright, let's see here. I would think that would be a good move. You could simply take it, but maybe they just want to sacrifice the queen and then you can win this rook here. I guess that works too. Alright, well that was a pretty complicated one. So I hope that helped. I would suggest that you pause that video. I guess they give you the whole game here. I would suggest that you pause the video and try to clarify your own thought processes here, and see if me describing it helps at all. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, and hit the subscribe button if you want to follow along for future videos. Alright, thank you very much. Bye.